time zones, my Sakonauts. I'm Sako Tumi, also known as the Witch of Tylwyth Teg, and today we are reading about the magic of the Hearth in The House Witch by Aaron Murphy Hiscock. If we haven't met before, I'd like to welcome you to my channel. It is very nice to meet you. If you have been here before, it is so lovely to see you back. I freaking love you guys. Good morning, Nicole. Good morning, Katerina. So lovely to see you too. I might see a Spence, maybe? I'd like to start this morning with a grounding ritual to start your day. This starts in your domain, so if you have not created a domain, you might want to sign up for my newsletter, which is linked below in the description. Sit with your hands in your lap and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose and hold it for a moment. And as you let it out completely through your mouth, let go of the tension from the night and the grogginess of the morning. Take another deep breath in. As you breathe in, imagine you are breathing in pure love. As you breathe out, imagine you are breathing out forgiveness. Take a third deep breath in, and as you do so, imagine a light coming in at the top of your head. Sorry, I'm here, I swear. It enters at the top of your head and spreads down over your face, neck, and shoulders. This cleansing light now expands along your back, down your legs, and out through your feet. It is as if cleansing light is a constant flow of soothing energy entering from your head and passing out through the arches of your feet. You are just outside the door of your domain. The air is crisp and cool. The evergreens sway slightly in the breeze, and the ground has a large patch of moss at your feet. Step barefoot onto the moss. Feel how soft it is. Feel the solid ground underneath. That light coming into your head can now be translated into energy that you can send out your feet. Convert the light into roots and send the roots out the bottoms of your feet and deep into the earth, as deep as you can. The soil is fresh, easy to toil, easy to carve a path down. Feel how anchored you are, how close to the earth. Reach as far down as you can. The earth hugs your roots comfortably, no matter how sharp or curly, no matter how many times they split off. Slowly pull the roots back up the way they came. Your roots slither through the dark, the soil filling in its wake. Pull the roots back into your feet, convert it back to the light, and let the light filter through you and out the top of your head. Take one more deep breath in, and Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. When you are ready, open your eyes. Welcome. If you're just joining us, we just did our morning grounding ritual. And if you are interested in more meditations like this one, but more exploratory, you might want to look at subscribing to my Patreon, where I'll be releasing 2 a month to help you on your spiritual and supernatural journey. Until then, you can join me for coffee right here on YouTube. Spence is, in fact, here venting and journaling. I'm so glad. That is excellent. Hi, Heather. Yay, Tylwyth Teg. They are figured into the book without saying too much. That is awesome. That is awesome. It is good. I figured amongst a bunch of writers that maybe someone would recognize the Tylwyth Teg. I am going to get another cup of coffee. You guys are going to come with me. What has happened here? What is going on? Oh, I guess I don't need this headset anymore. I don't need this headset anymore. So normally I pull a card from this deck, the Mystic Mondays Tarot. It just so happens that today is Monday, so let us pull today's card and see what kind of self-care we can do today. Yeah. Yesterday's card was on top. Still poking at my story. It's kind of ass backwards that I did my divination during the earlier sprints, and now I'm working on my short story. I'm contrary as fuck. That is okay. Just do the things. And just so you know, Teg is pronounced with a long I. Teague. Tylwyth Teg. Oh. Good to know. Thank you. I color outside the lines. I take off my tags off my mattress that says it's against the law. I mix cottage cheese into my mashed potatoes. I'm a maverick. Okay, you maverick, you. Contrary maverick, you. All right. Let us see the 7 of Pentacles. Teg. The long I. Teg. Question mark. Nine of Pentacles. 7 of Pentacles, sorry. Which is a great card for today, it being Monday. Hard work pays off. The seeds have been planted and you are now starting to see the fruits of your labor. Like a badass, you are looking toward the future with long-term strategy, putting effort into investments for the best returns. Timing is key for the sustainability of your ventures, cultivating your ideas with the care they deserve. This isn't about money. This is about passion. You're putting blood, sweat, and tears into something you feel very strongly about, building a foundation for your personal freedom. Your ideas are coming into fruition, visibly growing before your eyes. Patience is key, as this will take some time to manifest the way that you envisioned. No get rich quick schemes here. You're in it for the long haul. Basically, I see this card as you've done the work, and now you get to reap the rewards. You get to see how everything pays off, and it pays off in your favor. Tylwyth Teg. So I've been saying it wrong all this time. I'm also an overgrown toddler who probably needs a nap. I tried to figure out how to represent the sound. Tylwyth Teg. Teg. Okay, cottage cheese and mashed potatoes. Is that like sour cream and mashed potatoes or something? How is that supposed to do? What is that supposed to do? Tan in the house. Woo! Long time no see, lady. I drew surprisingly good cards today. The Earth Dragon, access to hidden riches, potential, and capacities. And the Rune of Fortune, life and spiritual advancement. Sounds like it is a busy day for you, my friend. Yesterday was such crap, I thought today was going to be a bad news cards. Hi, Kat. Lovely to see you. I'm going to take you guys to the kitchen while I get myself some more coffee. I think this is cup number 3. Then we'll start talking about magic at the hearth. It will be good. There's a wet spot in the carpet, and I don't like it. I don't know what that's from. That worries me. That worries me. Especially when you own cats. I guess I should ask for more coffee. It's something I only ever did in the army, just mixed up foods to eat them as fast as possible. And haven't done it since then. But I'm not against trying it again. I just remember it tasting pretty good. Oh my goodness. All right. Cream. Granted, I did run sprints this morning where most of you were there. How are you feeling today? Do you feel like you've put in enough hard work that you should start seeing rewards? I'm not super sure how to interpret today's card for today. For life in general, I kind of get it, but I'm in the midst of the current anguish to act on the advice today. I don't know what was your card? Because it might be contextual. Just remember, it might be contextual. So if you get a weird card, you can put down a clarifier or 2. I like to put 2, and it'll flesh out the situation.
but you kind of gotta like cottage cheese for one and be willing to eat your mashed potatoes without gravy for two. Two of Swords reversed means you are caught between a rock and a hard place. But there's freedom. There is freedom in that. You got it reversed, right? There's a freedom in having lots of choices. Today's Monday card is perfect for me. The High Priestess in the hands of the beta readers. Jawohl. Super rad. Was it the High Priestess that you pulled? What are the odds? What are the odds? Might start pulling morning cards again. I think it's a good way to A, learn the cards, and B, start to kind of like figure out how those cards can play into certain narratives. Everything is context. So the meaning of a card could possibly change depending on what cards are surrounding it or what situation it applies to. Like, for instance, the Seven of Pentacles is going to mean something very different between something that, you know, regarding work or something regarding love, for instance. I think if you start pulling morning cards, you know, like that can also be a thing that you can do like at your altar. So you can meditate right there on what it would mean to you. Oh, I got it reversed and took your advice and laid down clarifying cards. 4 and 3 of Wands. So a party and a business venture. So there is something really cool happening in Spence's life right now. So maybe try not to focus too much on the apartment thing and maybe enjoy the freedom that you have right now regarding what you get to work on, what you get to enjoy. I try to do only a draw once a week because I feel like I would rely on their guidance too much if I was pulling every single day. I agree. Rather than just living life, which is utterly ironic for me to say, but that's how I feel nevertheless. I get it. I definitely get it. I do this deck. I will pull from this deck every day because it is a self-care deck. So just something to consider when taking care of yourself today. There we go. Coffee, 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 coffee. All right. No worries about the pronunciation earlier. I just thought you'd like to know. I do like to know. Welsh vowels are interesting. My maiden name is not really pronounced the way Americans pronounce it. I'll pretend it's a super secret project in the Vampire Christmas romance set of wands trying to hype me up about today. Yeah. Party. Party and business. Regarding all the choices that you have the freedom to make. Too hot. Okay. We are 20 minutes in. Let's see what we can accomplish today, huh? In Hearthcraft, magic is a way of consciously drawing on the energy of the spiritual hearth to enhance the activity you are engaged in. In many paths, magic and spiritual practices are separate, but in Hearthcraft, the magical activity both supports and draws from the spiritual activity. As so much of Hearthcraft revolves around love, nurturing, and protection of what you consider sacred, positive goals can be the only ones envisioned. Freedom is not the feeling I'm feeling, but in the journal, they'll go for later. That sounds good. Another way of looking at magic within the context of Hearthcraft is as transformation of some kind, a task performed with the intent to weave together energies in order to initiate some sort of spiritual transformation, rejuvenation, or growth. With that in mind, this chapter looks at kitchen folklore and customs and the energies associated with the equipment found and used in the kitchen. The magic in everyday objects. The materials you work with all possess their own energies. Here's a look at the common materials found in the kitchen and their associated magical energies to help you get a handle on what they contribute to the energy of your home. Being aware of these energies means you can actively incorporate them into your spiritual work and take advantage of their benefits. Metals. There are 7 main metals known to the ancients. Each was associated with a planet, which in turn already had been associated with a deity, and assigned a sympathetic set of associations and correspondences. The 7 metals of the ancients were gold, associated with the sun, silver, the moon, quicksilver, Mercury, copper, which was Venus, iron, which was Mars, tin, which was Jupiter, and lead, which was Saturn. Many of these metals are still used in today's homes and are listed here with the associated energies. Magic in the mundane. Iron and steel. Iron is one of the most common elements found on Earth and is thought to be necessary to life in trace amounts for the most living organisms. Whimper. Cast iron, one of the most common forms of iron found in the kitchen, is made of iron, carbon, silicon, and trace amounts of manganese. Steel is another form of iron, is another common form of iron, alloyed with carbon to strengthen and harden it, along with other trace elements such as tungsten. Magically, iron is believed to deflect magic and psychic energy and increase physical strength, making it a common choice for making protective charms and talismans or for iron filings in amulet bags and gree-gree pouches. People of various cultures have carried nails, keys, and other iron-made items with them as protective and defensive talismans. Iron nails used to be hammered above doors and windows to prevent entry by evil spirits. Keys, iron keys specifically, are also a correspondence for Hecate. Nails are a super common correspondence for protection and, dare I say, antagonistic protection. Like, it would curse the people who want to cause you harm, sort of situation. I use them in my witch bottles. I'll also note that I use vinegar rather than piss. I'm sure it would be more powerful with my own urine, but I don't want to piss in a bottle full of nails. I don't want to do that. If you are looking for a way to incorporate iron into your magical or spiritual work and don't wish to use cookware or utensils, using a piece of hematite is an excellent alternative. Hematite is a pewter-colored metal used in magical work for grounding and protection. Lodestones, pieces of stone with iron in them that possess a magnetic charge, are also used in magical work to either draw certain energy toward them and the bearer, or to deflect certain energies away. It tracks! Away. Either hematite or lodestones on your altar or shrine will lend their energies to your spiritual hearth. Alternatively, you can eat foods high in iron such as dried fruit, dark green vegetables, nuts, whole grains, and red meat, among others. Iron and steel are used magically for defense, protection, grounding, strength, energy, willpower, and courage. But it would make it way more potent. I don't care. I'm not filling the poppet with my own shit. Indeed. I don't care. I will use stuffing, thank you. I don't even know if that would be a thing, but the thought grotesquely amused me too much. You could stuff it with shit, but let's not. Besides, it would have to be someone else's shit if you're using it for someone else, to curse someone else. I don't think you would want to curse yourself. I don't think that would benefit anyone. All right, let's talk about copper. Copper is an excellent conductor, and cooking pots and pans are often made entirely or partially of this metal. Traditionally, copper is associated with Venus, the Roman goddess of love and beauty. It revitalizes, refreshes, is associated with healing, balances outgoing and incoming energies, and is also associated with attracting money. Just as copper is an electrical conductor, it also conducts magical energy. It is an excellent metal to have around the hearth and home as it enhances energies such as harmony, abundance, and attraction of positive energy. Magically, copper can be used for work regarding kindness, fertility, peace, harmony, arts-related undertakings, and friendship. Aluminum. One of the most abundant metals on Earth, aluminum is naturally found in several stones, such as garnet and staurolite. I didn't know that. Aluminum is usually anodized for use in pots and pans. It is a very dense metal despite its lightness. As one of the more recent metals, it does not have as many magical associations with it as classical metals such as copper or iron do. Modern associations are travel, communication, and other subjects associated with mental activity. As aluminum is very resistant to corrosion, it may also be used staying power or permanency to resist unbeneficial change. I would be careful using aluminum pans. There has been a link between if you drink from a can a lot or you eat out of aluminum pans, there has been a link to as Alzheimer's disease. So watch out for that. So it's weird that it would say that it benefits mental things, because it doesn't benefit, it actually deteriorates. Tin and pewter. Just made fresh coffee, came back to magic and the mundane. Neat. Tin and pewter. Tin is most often found in the form of pewter, which is toxic, by the way. Modern pewter is tin with antimony, but older pewter alloyed with tin with lead and copper. Yeah, older pewter is what I'm used to. Used for making cups and plates and other housewares, pewter is also commonly used for small figurines and jewelry. Interestingly, Mexican pewter is in fact made of aluminum alloyed with other metals, not tin. Magical associations for tin and pewter include business success, legal issues, wisdom, growth, success, healing, and abundance. If you use aluminum, use it sparingly and with low acid things like tomato sauces. Tomato sauces are high acid. What are you talking about? Just woke the son's cat out of what I think was a nightmare. Poor thing. I've seen dogs have nightmares before, but I don't think I've ever seen a cat have one. The noises were so piteous. Yeah, I have had to wake up one of my kitties from wacky dream reactions. Also, pewter smells like ass when it's cast too long. Apparently, if it is old pewter, or then it will let off toxic fumes when you heat it up. So my engagement ring, for instance, was made from old pewter, and it didn't quite fit. So they resized it, and I wanted it resized again. And the new jeweler that we went to said he wasn't going to do it because it was pewter and it would put his health at risk. So no resizing, which is fine. And he replaced some of the gems that fell out when they got tumbled. Good thing we never drank out of pewter goblet set my mother had when I was a kid. My husband, so I think we're going to get into lead. No, we're not. Okay. Well, lead is in a lot of old crystal as well. We have a couple of pewter goblets that I just say don't drink out of them often. I need proof to proofread my chat comments. I meant tomato sauces in the avoid aspect. Okay. Thank you. I was like, what you talk about? Porcelain, china, and earthenware. These ceramic-based materials are all made from clay and kaolin clay bases with various other materials added to them to create certain effects. They are usually glazed to make them watertight. Clay is an earthen-based material, and so these items carry the basic associations of abundance, stability, and fertility. Let's talk about glass. Glass is basically melted and fused silicon dioxide with various minerals added to provide stability. Pyrex contains boron. Lead glass or crystal contains lead to increase light's refraction to cause a sparkling effect. Silicon dioxide is found naturally as sand or quartz, both also associated with the element of earth and therefore with the energies of stability and abundance. The quartz category covers many of the stones commonly used in New Age practice, such as agate, jasper, and onyx, as well as the translucent stones commonly referred to as quartz. In general, quartz stones are associated with energy, healing, and protection, among others for particular stones. Quartz is a really great exacerbator. White can soak up things, and amethyst quartz can basically, it's like adding kerosene to an already burning fire. Let's talk about glass, baby. Let's talk about red and green. Let's talk about all the colors of the rainbow that can be. Let's talk about glass. Okay. The ethics of magic in the kitchen. Cooking in itself is a creative activity. It's also one of the most common activities in the modern kitchen, and therefore is one of the most natural methods through which you can express your spirituality and practice your hearthcraft for the good of your family and home. This brings up the issue of ethics. The subject of ethics was raised in Chapter 1 with a discussion about values and how they can help you define your home-based spirituality. Here we'll discuss the ethically sticky and confusing issue of cooking for others with spiritual or magical intent. In modern religions such as Wicca, it is generally accepted that attempting to affect someone else through magical or other means without their knowledge or consent is an infringement upon their privacy and expression of free will, and that spells or rituals designed to change someone's status or outlook without their okay is a bad thing. I also agree to this. It's a Wicca thing, but I guess that's a little bit of my Wicca sticking around. What are you doing in your room with the door closed? I'm just exacerbating. Make sure you clean up afterwards. Making fun of my word usage. There are other magical based paths that do not operate under this particular moral restriction. Hearthcraft, however, is not specifically magic-based, nor is it a religion. It does not seek to deliberately alter an individual's position or status for the gain or benefit of the practitioner, or even for the individual being affected. What Hearthcraft does do, however, is take full advantage of the open-ended opportunity to generally pass along wishes for peace, health, and happiness. How does this differ from attempting to manipulate with someone with magic? Well, first of all, infusing your kitchen activity with positive energy through channeling divine love via your spiritual hearth or inviting positive energy into your home isn't manipulating those who live in your home or who visit as guests. If you prepare food with non-specific love, then those who consume the food and that love benefit from it in their own way. The key thing to remember is that by serving food made with love, those who eat it have the opportunity to absorb the energy that is enhancing it along with the energy provided by the physical component of the meal. They do not automatically do so. Their personal energy has the choice to accept the loving energy in your food and home or not. If you bake a cake for someone you like with the intent of creating a love spell to make them fall in love with you, that qualifies as manipulation and interference. If you make a cake for someone you like with the intent of baking the best cake you possibly can with the hopes that the display of your culinary skill impresses them and perchance may contribute to their overall feelings and admiration for you, that qualifies as non-interference. Oh, it's a Christina. It's a Christina on Charlie's phone. Did he left his phone when he went out of town? Is that what's up? I swear the meat is not making me this silly, I don't think, but maybe I should take a breathalyzer before I get back to the keyboard. Perhaps this feels like splitting hairs. What it comes down to, however, is that you are not seeking to manipulate anyone by making food with love. So how do you use spiritual or magical intent in the kitchen? Well, for a start, you can use rituals, and here the word ritual is used in the sense of a short mental and spiritual preparations before you begin, to help improve your ability to cook. You can attract as much successful and encouraging energy from your hearth as possible and direct it into the food you prepare. You can use mindfulness, see Chapter 6, and invocations to improve your ability to plan, prepare, cook, and serve meals, see Chapter 10. And above all, you can cook mindfully, keeping the goal of caring for those who will consume your meal clearly in your mind. Chapter 9 looks at the relationship between food and spirituality in greater depth. Kitchen folklore. One of the fun things about doing research into a home-based, excuse me, let me try that again. One of the fun things about doing research into home-based customs is discovering the traditions and folklore associated with domestic activity. Here's a series of domestic customs you can use to help enhance your awareness of the spiritual nature of your activity. My phone service is disconnected now as we're trying to save to get everything back to Oregon in December. Oh, so he left it so that he can call me for a ride when he comes home. Oh, okay. So it's your phone for the next couple weeks. Okay. Okay, so stir the contents of pots and bowls, clockwise or mugs, to attract positive energy, or stir counterclockwise to banish things. Use one or the other according to the needs of your home or family at the time. Pass items at the table in a clockwise direction to maintain harmonious energy there. If you wish to clear the house of negative energy, clean it beginning at the back door and travel through it room by room in a counterclockwise direction until you reach the back door again. Then sweep or mop out the door and off the doorstep. I cannot do that. So I start at the kitchen, I make my way to the back door, make my way here into the living room, and then I go back to the kitchen. I'm not sure if you'd want to know. I know I would want to know. You have a white speck in your hair. I do. Oh my gosh. There we go. I'm sorry about that. Thank you. Unless it's intentional. Your style is pretty cool and unique, so it could be. It was not intentional. To attract positive energy, clean items in a clockwise motion. This includes dusting, mopping, and scrubbing, as well as wiping counters and washing dishes. Draw a spiritual symbol that has meaning to you, either cultural, religious, or designed by you, with salt water on the windows of your house and on the front and back doors. Paint these symbols with clear nail polish if you want something a little more permanent. I would not do that. Yeah, I would not do that. If you wish to further connect your cooking to your spiritual hearth, draw a spiritual symbol on the inside of the pot or bowl before you use it. Stylized flame is a good basic image to use. I do it on the inside of pies and cakes. Pies are easier because you've got the dough to do the sigil on. Always looking out. Thank you, baby. Running out of salt is said to be bad luck for the prosperity of the home. Keep a small packet of salt somewhere to ensure there will always be salt in the house. This may be one of the origins of the custom of bringing a bottle of wine, a loaf of bread, and a box of salt to a housewarming. Hanging braids or wreaths of garlic, onions, or hot peppers will keep your kitchen free of negative energy. Well, not free. It will act like a sponge. Compost them every fall and hang new ones. Never eat them. Don't eat them. Holy crap, don't eat them. Hanging bunches of dried Indian corn attracts prosperity and abundance. Leave an onion or a clove of garlic outside below a kitchen window to absorb any negative energy trying to enter the home. My kitchen window is literally right above my front door. You may leave them around the doors to the house as well. Place new ones there every month or more frequently if the old ones decay faster. Traditional kitchen tools. The tools used by households a century ago are no longer the only tools at a hearth-based house, witch's disposal. There are dozens of tools available in the kitchen now. This section briefly touches on traditional tools and proposes contemporary equivalents. Apart from the cauldron, which was discussed in Chapter 4, there are a handful of other traditional tools that are and have been used in magical and spiritual work. The knife. The knife is a symbol of air or fire, depending on which Western occult tradition you subscribe to. And in some paths, it is commonly used in a symbolic fashion. The partner to this tool is the bolin, a knife used for actual physical cutting and slicing in a ritual context for things such as herbs, carving wood, and so forth. The bolin sometimes has a white handle or a curved blade, while the knife is generally dark-handled and has a straight blade with two edges. Sometimes it is sharpened, sometimes it is left dull to demonstrate that it is a metaphysical tool. I use a pair of scissors for my athame. Of course, the last thing you need is a knife in the kitchen that you can't use. Hearthcraft is practical. As Hearthcraft is practical, it makes more sense to recognize the spiritual associations of the knives you do use. Knives are generally associated with action, decisiveness, resolve, and competence, and intellect. Intellect as well, that this book does not mention. The wand. Another traditional tool is the wand. The wand is either a symbol of air, fire, or air. I use it as a symbol of fire because torches. Depending on your belief concerning the knife, that is, the wand is designed to the other. Fairy tales feature fairies and sorceresses with magical wands that transform and enchant. Tales of wizards and druids often feature staves. Both the wand and the staff are symbolic of the same thing. Staves tend to be associated with solidity and grounding as well, reflecting the world tree and the axis mundi found in shamanic societies. The obvious modern tool that parallels the wand is the wooden spoon, a tool of transformation and blending. One of my favorite gifts to my kitchen witches is a wooden spoon that I've carved a sigil into for protection and love. That is one of my favorites to give to people. I still haven't made one for myself, but I have pulled one to do it. I just haven't done it yet. The broom. Another ubiquitous magical symbol is the broom. Like the staff, it symbolizes grounding, but it also symbolizes the spiritual flights taken seeking knowledge and from other spirits and worlds. The broom is said to be a union of the female and male symbols of brush and staff, and as such was used in fertility ceremonies, festivals, rituals, especially to encourage crops to grow. In more modern magical use, it is used to sweep the energy of a place clean of negativity. In this capacity, it is sometimes termed a besom and is often kept apart from the everyday broom used to sweep up crumbs and dirt off the floor. In Hearthcraft, as every act is a spiritual act, using the everyday broom is a magical act in and of itself. The floor and the energy get swept clean together. I love my wooden spoon. It's a little silly how much I love it. You could decorate it and make it awesome and magical. It's already magical. I mean, that aside, but I'm a very visual person, so I decorate all my shit. Spence, same. Nobody is allowed to use it but me. If they want a wooden spoon, they can get their own. This one is mine, and it's special to me. Wooden spoons are good for everything. My ex has a bone knife that's still sitting here on her altar in my house, and I'm kind of jealous because it feels strangely more natural as an athame than my lock blade knife. I have a fancy pair of scissors. And you come from a pantheon that values nature-made stuff. So I have a deer antler that has been carved into a dragon, and it is technically a knot undoer, but I use it as a sort of athame. It's more decorative than useful. I have two that I love. One that's a daily use chef's kiss aesthetic wooden spoon, and I have a slightly less practical one that is shaped like a mitten. Oh, it's so cute. No matter how long I've had it and have sentiments with it. Oh, so you look at your lock blade and you're like, what? But the bone one is cool. You're not a bone knife. I get it. I don't think I have it anymore. I think it was confiscated. My childhood bally song, it actually got confiscated by airport security because I didn't know it was in my camera bag. Oh, that is adorable. Kitchen doodads are cool. They can come in all sorts of cool shapes. I love salt and pepper shakers that are shaped like things. I want to get the ladle that looks like a dinosaur. I want to get that one. My athame is a lock blade. That was the first blade implement that I bought for myself. That's called the Howl because it has a wolf motif. Cool. Do you keep it open, or do you close it when you're not using it? Had it for almost 30 years. Sentimentality is a thing, but try not to let that restrict you from upgrading if you feel like you find a piece that you've connected to. That sounds incredibly cute. I have a little collection of salt and pepper shakers, a set of rose gold, Coke bottle, elephants, and 2 silver-plated ones, plus my Christmas ones, but those aren't out all the time, right? Because Christmas. I gotcha. Let's see, where... Modern appliances and magic. Let's talk about modern appliances. I keep it open on my altar and tend to use it mostly to clean out my candle holders and to carve runes into my candles. Yep. Sentimentality has value, but when it becomes a burden is when it becomes a problem. Rose golden elephants are speaking to my soul. I can't believe we ever had an internet beef scandal. I love your style. There was an internet beef scandal between Christina and Spence? How is that a thing? Okay, so modern appliances and magic. Oh, we have 5 minutes left. Let us reserve modern appliances for tomorrow. Your cookbook, blessing your appliances, like your refrigerator, for instance. Everyday items, regular purification of the kitchen, keep records. Yeah, cool. We will talk about working in appliances into our practice tomorrow. Oh my God, I forgot about that. Now my curiosity is piqued. I accidentally blocked Spence one time. Oh. Think it was on Meta's stream. Accidentally blocked me and we were being silly and dramatic about it. It was our first internet beef. That's adorable. Super cute. Thank you all for joining me today. Very special memory I will never forget. Brave little toaster realness. Brave little toaster realness. That gave me a complex when I was a kid. I have to say, inanimate objects still have spirit, as far as I'm concerned. They don't get up and like do things like I used to think. But no, like all things have spirit. If you liked this video at any point, please hit the like button. And if you want to see what the rest of this book is like when we talk about appliances, because how can you talk about the kitchen and the house without talking about appliances? Especially in modern magic. The thing that applied inanimate objects with spirit for me was So You Want to Be a Wizard. I also think of Merlin and his stuff in The Sword and the Stone. I love that series, Raven Young Wizard series by Diane Duane. They don't? Way to ruin Brave Little Toaster for me. What's next? Santa and the Tooth Fairy aren't just walking around either? Egregore, what? Tomorrow is going to be fun. We'll have to bring up the Brave Little Toaster again. Absolutely. Absolutely. So if you want to see that, then I advise subscribing and maybe even ringing the bell just in case I do go live and you get the note. Maybe you'll get the notification. If you are interested in supporting me, I do have a Patreon, which is linked in the description. My kitchen has a name, and so does my old sewing machine. I haven't named my new one yet. We're still getting to know each other. Cool. Well, I will. Katarina's here. What a cool name. All right. I will catch you guys on the flip side, being my Discord. You can do that. See you guys later.